Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Here is Ali Talabi, and this is module number 5. We are going to talk about time value of money. We'll have 3 lessons in this module, as well as the wrap up, which will review major topics, common mistakes, and I will provide you some questions relevant to this module. So let's start time value of money. When it comes to investment, we know that the value of the money over time is going to be changed. If I offer you 2 options, I say, you know what, I'm going to offer you $100 now, or you can get $100 1 year from now. Which one you will choose? Most probably you will take the $100 now. Why? Because you can spend the money now, you can go and buy whatever you want now, and another option will be just you can go and invest your money and you will get some interest or return on your investment. Let's say you are getting 10% by depositing your money in a bank account. So after 1 year, you will have $110, which is $10 more than what you have now. And we know due to several reasons, including inflation, the value of money is going down. So if you keep that $100, if you don't touch it, next year, your purchasing power will be less. So you prefer to spend it now, you prefer to invest it now, so it's better to have the money now than later. That's why the value of money and the time value of money matters. So when it comes to time value of money, we'll talk about present value, future value, and different terminologies. So let's see what those mean. And let's start with the future value. So when you invest your money, as I said, you can earn some return or interest on your investment. The basic form of interest is called simple interest. It is not very common in the world of investment and finance. Most of the time, we're talking about compound interest or compounding. Maybe you say, well, Ali, what do you mean by simple interest? What do you mean by compound interest? So let me show you the simple interest first. So let's say you have $100 in your account and you have an investment opportunity to invest in an account which pays you 6% on annual basis. Now the question here is 5 years from now, how much you have. For these cases, it's much better to have a timeline. So I highly encourage you to use a timeline here. So here is 0, which means the current time we are now. That's a present time. 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. So that's so on and so forth. So that's a timeline. So you're investing $100 now, and you know that account is giving you 6%, which means after 1 year, you are earning $6 in addition to what you had 1 year before. So that now you have $106. Based on the simple interest, you are just earning interest on principal. That $100 you started with, it's called principal. Just principal, it's not principal. So it's principal which you started with. So each year you're just earning interest on that $100. So first year, $6, 6%. Second year, another 6% or $6 again on that principal $100. So and so on and so forth. So after 5 years, in total, you will receive $30. Why? Because 5 years times by $6, $30. Very simple math. So $100 original money, $30 interest. So in total, you will have $130. As I said, this is the notion of simple interest, but it's not very applicable in the world of finance. The more realistic situation is when you're earning interest on interest, which we call compound interest. So in compound interest, not only you earn interest on principal, but also you get interest on interest. Back to our timeline argument. So year 1, year 2. So let me just stop here. So you start with $100 now. You are earning $6 in the first year. You see, in the first period or the first year, you don't see difference because you start with $100. You haven't earned any interest yet. Still, you have $6 based on $100 principal. However, starting the second period, or in our case, second year, you already have $6 in your account, which comes from the interest. So not only you're earning another additional $6 on that principal $100, but also you're earning 6% on $6 interest, which is 36 cents. So in addition to that $6, you are earning 36 cents. So now you have $6.36 in addition to that $100. So that's how you can grow your money faster, because you are just earning interest on interest as well. So if you look at this frequency, or the actually interest you're earning over time, you see that your money is growing faster than the simple interest. So it's going up 36 cents interest, another 38 cents in the third year, and so on and so forth. And at the end, not only you have the $30 which we calculate in the simple interest, you are earning additional $3.82 based on the compound interest. And that $3.82 comes just from your interest. So your total interest for interest or uninterest is $3.82. So you can see that you are growing your money faster. So that's the meaning of the future value. So the future value is when you're investing money now, which in our case is $100, you want to see how much you will have sometimes in the future. In our case, you will have $133.82 if you invest $100 now with the interest rate of 6%. This is for the period of 5 years. Now the question here is there any way I can calculate the future value? And the answer is yes. You can use this formula. The future value is the principal. So I here is just the principal, the original money you started with. R is your interest rate, or annual interest rate, or periodic interest rate, and T is the number of periods or number of years. So in this case, you can plug the numbers. You will see the future value will be same as what we calculated before, $133.82, if you just use those numbers. That's one way to calculate the future value. Another way is using your financial calculator. I highly encourage you to get one of these financial calculators for your finance class, for your investment class. That's very useful. I'm using the BA2 Plus. It is for Texas Instruments, as you see, and it's one of the cheapest in the market, maybe 30, 40 bucks in the market. Anyway, you see that the third line is the major part of this calculator, which for now we are going to deal with. So for the time value of money, we are using the third row or third line here, as you see, which is start with N, I, PV, PMT, and FB. So let me write down these 5 variables here. So this is NI per year. You have present value, you have payment, and finally you have future value. So N is showing the number of periods, how many periods you have. I per year, that's your interest per period or per year. This is present value, payment, and future value. For example, here we started with $100. So your PV should be $100. Now, you have to be careful. If you are investing or if you deposit the money, this is cash outflow from your perspective. So that's why I use negative $100 for the PV. So you're earning 6% per year. We are talking about 5 years. There is no payment. There's one lump payment. We call that lump sum. Just there is one payment. And you are looking for the future value. Now, you have to be careful here. If you are using this specific calculator, I have a few hints for you. First of all, just make sure you set the decimal places to 9. By default, it is set to 2 decimal places, which might be confusing when you're rounding up or down. So it's better to change it. How come? So that's how you are changing the decimal places. You see in the second row, there is a second. It's called second bottom. So the first one and the second row is second. So press second. And the last row, you see the middle bottom is the middle button here is decimal. So enter that decimal. So now you see the decimal is coming on your screen. I already set to 9. So if for you is 2, just make sure you press 9 and then you go with enter. The first route there is enter. You go enter. Now it is set to 9 decimal places, much easier from now. So there is no mistake of rounding. So let's go back to our question. So you set from the left. The first one is n. You enter the number first. It's 5, and then you hit n and n. So you should see n equals to 5 in this case. Same. Your interest per year is 6%. Be careful. In this calculator, you don't go with decimal places, just 6. If it's 5%, it's just 5. If 10%, just 10. Don't go with 0.1 for 10% or 0.06 for 6%, just 6. So I hit 6 and then I per year. 6 I per year. So the I per year should be 6. The PV is $100 negative, so it's $100. Make sure you're using the plus minus sign, which is in the last row. So if I hit this, now I will have minus $100, which is my PV, hit PV. Your payment is 0. There is no payment. You have to enter 0 and then PMT. And finally, you are looking for the future value. The first row, the first button here is CPT. CPT is compute. So you hit compute and then you go with CFV, future value. So what I got here, so as you see, it's $133.8. That's the same exact same number which we had before by using the formula. So the future value here should be 133.8. That's what we're looking for. That's our future value. That's much easier, much more straightforward. There are several tables you can use, like future FVIF or future value at the end of some textbook or online. Again, I highly encourage you either to use the formula or much better it's to use the calculator in this case. So for sure, as the interest rate is going up, as the number of periods going up, the future value should be a higher number. So that's the effect of compounding. As the interest rate is going up, you see, because you're earning interest on interest, the future value is going to grow much faster. For example, the dotted, the red curve is showing the 15% interest rate, which you can see is just climbing much faster than other interest rates. So we can have the same argument for the present value. Let's say that you expect to receive $1,000 from your parents 1 year from now, but it's not now. They promise you after graduation they're going to give you $1,000, which is 1 year from now. So you will receive this money sometime in the future. So the question here is, what is the current or present value of this money? You're right. The current value should be less than $1,000 because because of inflation, many other risk factors, 1 year from now, you can spend less than what you can spend now. So the present value should be less than future value. Very similar argument to what we had for future value. Just you have to flip this upside down and you have to find the present value. So that's the whole argument. So we can rearrange the formula which we already talked about, and you can calculate the present value. So if you divide the future value by 1 plus r over to power of t, you can find the present value. In our case, for example, you are going to receive $1,477 8 years from now, so you need to find the present value of this money. If you use the formula and if we assume the annual interest rate is 5% and we are talking about 8 years, the current present value should be $1,000. The same argument, you can use the financial calculator to find the present value. This time you're using new variables. So what is your n? We're talking about 8 years, so your n should be 8. What is your annual interest rate? Is 5% or just 5. You're looking for the present value, just skip that. There is no payment and you expect to receive $1,477.45 to be exact. So again, You're talking about the if you use the positive future value, if you hit these numbers in your calculator, your present value should be negative $1,000. Again, the PV and FV, they're moving in opposite direction. If the future value is positive, the present value should be negative, and vice versa. You can think about that from the cash flow perspective. Cash outflow and cash inflow. Both cannot be positive or negative. So that's what we explain about using financial calculator. That is for now today. This is the first module, the first lesson. We'll talk about annuities, perpetuity next module. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Talk to you soon. This is Ali Talabi. Take care.